Okay, so the first law we're going to look at is Boyle's law. That's basically your P1, V1 equals P2 times V2. Okay. All right, here's the problem from the Nearpod. It gives you 500 milliliters of HE at 98 kilopascals and expands to 750 milliliters, and it tells you to find P2. So here's what you need to do when you work these problems, okay? So first thing you're going to write down everything that the problem gives you. It gives you a volume, which is the first volume, which is 500 milliliters. Right? So you're going to write that down. And then it gives you a pressure, which is 98 kilopascals. And it gives you another volume. So that's your V2, which is 750 milliliters. All right, and it's asking you to solve for P2. Right? So that's your unknown. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of the way so we can work this problem. And this is the work I need to see. So if we're looking at Boyle's law, it's basically P1 V1 equals P2 times V2. And I need to solve for P2. That means I need to get rid of this guy right here. So what do I have to do to get rid of V2 to get P2 by itself? It's your algebra. Basically, I got to divide both sides by what? By V2, right? So if I divide this side by V2, it gets rid of V2. I do the same thing over here, and now I've got my equation that's going to solve for P2. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that so you can be more familiar with it. And that's divided by V2, right? Basically, that's what I did. And now, since I have everything written down there, now all I have to do is add in my numbers, and I can plug and chug. So P2 is equal to, what's P1? 98 kilopascals. What's V1? It's 500 milliliters. And you have to write in your units, folks. That's milliliters right there. Kind of messed up, but that'll be all right. And V2 goes on the bottom, and I look over at my little chart, 750 milliliters. All right, that's my setup. You got to work them that way. I got to see the units in your work. And then when you plug this in, you get 65.3. And what's my unit? Well, if I look over here, milliliters go away. What am I left with? Kilopascals. All right, there's your final answer for the first problem on the Nearpod.